All right, you are done. You already know how you did. So you're watching this to try to figure out what mistake you made. Let's check it out. So compare using less than, greater than, or equal to. I'm assuming every single person gets this one right, but remember, you cross multiply. So we have 6 times 6, 36, or 5 times 8 is 40, and 40 is bigger than 36. So 5/6 is larger than 6/8. Which represents the number 820 and 681 thousandths? Well, the 8 is 800. That eliminates this one right here. The 2 is 20, or 2 times 10. That eliminates B. So it's between A and C. 0 is a placeholder. There's no ones, so that's just there. The 6 is 6/10, which is right here or right here. The 8 is 800ths, which is right here, but that's 800. So we have our winner, and then the 1 is 1,000ths. So that answers A. Roberto must make his costume for the school play. He needs a piece of fabric that is 2 2/3 yards long and 1 1/2 yards wide. What is the area? So you're just multiplying 2 2/3, 1 1/2. You have to first turn them into improper fractions. So the improper fraction of 2 2/3, well, each whole is 3/3. So you have 3/3, 6/3. So the 2 wholes is 6/3 plus 2/3. So it's not just 2 wholes. So it's 8/3 on that side. You're going to multiply 8/3 by, well, what is 1 1/2? Well, 1 is 2 halves, right? Plus 1/2. So it's 1 1/2, so it's 3 halves. So you're multiplying 8/3 by 3 halves. 8/3 times, so that here's your 8/3. You're going to multiply it by 3 over 2. When you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators together, you get 24. You multiply the denominators together, you get 6. And what is 24/6? Well, 6/6 makes a whole, but you have 24 of them. So you have 6, and then you have 12, and then you have 18, and then you have 24. So 24/6 is the same answer as 4. And since it's two-dimensional because it's an area, they're not just yards, they're yards with a little tiny 2, which is called squared yards. So B is your answer on that one. Now this bad boy right here that we all love to hate. There's 3 answers, and you could either remember the shortcut or just multiply it out the real way. 832 times 1 is 832. That eliminates C and D. So all of a sudden it turns into this 50-50 if you just looked at the problem and realized, oh my gosh, the first one's just times 1. The second one's 832 times a tenth. A tenth is tricky. It's smaller. It just moves the decimal, if you remember. Remember, when you multiply by 10 and 10 times bigger moves the decimal out, a lot of the times adding a 0, but it's a tenth of. So it's the opposite of 10 times bigger. It's 10 times smaller, or dividing by 10. Decimal moves in. It's 83.2. So right now we have 832 and 83.2. We have our winner already. Here it's going to multiply. The decimal is going to move twice in. And remember, a whole number has an invisible decimal after it. So it moves twice in, 8.32. So that whole thing is B. Let's go to Unit 5. Sydney puts her coin collection into an album. She has 584 coins. But if each page can hold 12 coins, how many pages does she need? So you're going to try to figure out how many 12s are in 584, which is division. You are going to get a remainder here. So the idea is, if you figure out that she could put 48 full pages, she can fill 48 full pages, but she still has a couple coins left, then what do you need to buy? You need to buy yet another page. So what are you going to do with the remainder? You're going to add to it. So if you divide 584 by 12, you get 48, but there's a remainder. So when you divide it, you realize it's 48 remainder 8, or 48 and 8/12. So not only does she fill up 48 pages, but she fills up 8/12 of another page, meaning she needs another page. So the answer is 49 pages there. Unit 6, Riko spends $44 on 8 toy cars. Remember, the cars are the exact same amount of money. So how much money? You got to divide, but you have to divide with decimals because 44 is a whole number, but 44 eighths is not one whole number. It's a mixed number, meaning it doesn't go in perfect. There's a remainder, okay? So when you divide 44 by 8, you got to put 44.00 divided by 8. 8 goes into 44 5 times. There's a remainder of 4. You bring down the 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. There's nothing left over. But remember, because 88 went into 44, this 5 should be right over the 4. So the next thing that you do is you put the decimal up. And then when it goes into 45 times, it goes after the decimal. So your answer is 5.50 or $5.50. Unit 7, evaluate the expression. So this is what we really started doing from home, right? You have n, you got to plug 2 in for n. Well, you can, and then you have to use orders of operation. If you got these right, good for you. I mean, that means that you watched all the videos, you learned yourself without being in school, which is phenomenal. So you're going to have 2/3 times 6. And you're all going to add that to 2/3 times 2. Now n is gone because they told us n is 2. Order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. There aren't any parentheses, but my dear is multiplication division, meaning that dot right there is multiplication. So we have to multiply first. Because there's 2 multiplications, you go like you're reading a book from left to right. So 2/3 times 6 is the same thing as 2/3 times 6 over 1. You multiply 2 by 6 is 12, 3 by 1 is 3. 12/3. What is 12/3? It's 4, right? So now that 2/3 times 6 is 4, and then you're going to add that to 2/3 times 2. So first, we got to figure out what 2/3 times 2 is. Well, 2/3 times 2 is 2/3 times 2 over 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3, so it's 4/3. Well, you could either keep it 4/3 right now, or you could turn it into a mixed number of, well, what is 4/3? 3/3 is 1, and then there's still another third, so it's 1/8 and 1/3. So now you have this new problem of 4 plus 4/3, or 4 plus 1 1/3. Add the wholes together, it's 5. The 1/3 is not added to anything, so it's 5 1/3. Final answer. Last one, Unit 8. Oops. Unit 8. All we're doing is they're seeing if we know how to take a table like this and throw it into one of these charts. So 1/2, there's 5 of them. There's 5 1/2s here. There's 5 1/2s here. There's 5 1/2s here, but there's only 4 here. So we can get rid of B. So now it's between A, C, and D. There's 3 3/4. 3 3/4 here. 3 3/4 here. 3 3/4 there. Didn't get rid of anyone. 1 7/8. 7/8 once, didn't get rid of any. 2 1 1/8. 2 1 1/8 there. Oh, there's only 1 1 1/8 there. Get rid of C. And oh, there's 3 1 1/8 there. You can get rid of A or D. So now A is our winner. Let's just make sure. 3 1 1/4. 3 1 1/4 right there. Your answer is A. Okay, that's Monday. You are finished. You have 4 more days with problems like this, and then you are graduated for math. Thanks for watching. Thanks for working, and enjoy the rest of your day.